wood pallets are a wonderful way to put small pots in. I've even taken wood pallets and painted them with a biodegradable paint and filled them with little pots and had herbs growing up and down these wooden pallets. You can just go to Pinterest, get wonderful ideas for growing. You literally can grow, guys, any kind of garden to fit your space. And if you need help with that, just know, please, you have people that are here for you, like myself. And at the end of the show, I'll be sure that I give you all my details. I do help many families grow their first gardens and get them started, because that's what's most important. Once you start and you get your hands in the earth and you go from a seed to a full plant to having it on your table, there's something that wakes up inside you guys. There's just something in your spirit that says thank you, and I'm grateful. It's just a beautiful experience. And for all of us, it's part of something that is bigger than we are.
And, you know, you said something here that I really love about working with your families, because having worked with children and in preschools, we often had little gardens inside of the classroom, if we didn't even have them outside as well. Also going to culinary school, we had a full garden outside of our culinary school classroom when I was in college, and our professors made sure that we tended it and they tended it, and it was beautiful and probably thriving at this point. Now, one of the things that I liked too that you spoke about was the DIY palettes that you could find instructions for on Pinterest. That seems like something that you could get your kids involved with, Debra. How important is it to get your kids involved with the gardening process so that they're starting to understand where food really comes from?
Great question. Monette, I'm going to ask all the parents in our audience today to think about what your children do on a daily basis. And in this day and age, we're in a world of electronics. So a lot of our children, they get up, they go to school, they come home, and what's the first thing they do? They're in their electronics.
Yep.
They don't know how to experience earth and where food comes from. So parents, take heed to what I'm saying to you, because if you sit down with your children and design a garden with the help of any urban farmer, as myself and others, you can not only bring your family back and get your kids involved, but it can turn into a family event. And the results, when you start eating from it, you'll teach your kids to eat better. I mean, we have child diabetic, and the obesity in this country today is at 10 years old, as young as 10 years old, to 25. This is the 15 years where right now our children are experiencing high diabetes, cholesterol, obesity at 25% of our population of young children. And so if it continues the way it is, and they keep eating at fast food places, and not even just fast food, but if their parents don't educate themselves and they keep choosing foods in the grocery store that are the same as what's used in fast food restaurants, made from a box, filled with chemicals, filled with all kinds of pesticides and GMOs, which is genetically modified organisms, and to this date, we still don't know what those things will do to our bodies in the future, but they're predicting. Researchers have shown if we don't change what's happening, our children's life expectancy and our grandchildren's is going to be 40. So we may outlive them. So when I say this is an emergency, from my spirit, please know, families, it's an emergency. We have got to take charge of our health and our family's health. What better way than to make a family garden and get everyone involved and let it turn into a part of a lifestyle that supports you for a very long time.
That's the way to do it, guys. Getting the kids involved now absolutely changes their outlook on food and what they're believing of themselves to be capable to do with food. Not only does it get them growing, but it also is a perfect segue into cooking, because they want to now do something with the food they've grown. What an exciting thing. And that was one of my favorite lesson plans working with the kids, was us getting to chop up our herbs and sprinkle them over our little salads, or sprinkle some mint on our fruit salad or fruit cocktail. Even if it was fruit cocktail out of the can, they got to put that fresh mint on there, and they were like, wow, this tastes like Bernie, Miss Monette, or this tastes good, or this tastes like my mouth is on fire. They loved it, guys. I wasn't hurting them, but they loved it because they realized, like, oh, these herbs make the fruit cocktail that I've been eating every day taste like magic. One of the little girls said that it tastes like magic. So that's the amazing thing about herbs, and that's the amazing thing about cooking with your kids. And then taking that thing you're growing and changing it into a food that they can consume, because now they're seeing the full cycle and circle of life. And Debra, right now we're in spring, as we talked about. Are there any plants that are geared specifically for the season? Now, I understand we are doing a show in Florida, but can you give a little bit of information, or maybe a place that our listeners can find information about what their planting seasons are, whatever region they're in?
Absolutely. It's really important, guys, that you definitely search your area. So go online, and real easy, you'll want to search foods that grow best in your zone. Like in Florida, we're zone 10. Zone 10 meaning on a heat level of 1 to 10, we're a tropical area. So wherever you live, if you're upstate New York or Canada or Boston, you're going to probably be between a 1 and a 3, where it's a cooler climate, and you have less months where you can grow unless you get into a greenhouse growing, which is what many people up north are. Right now I'm in New Jersey visiting with family, and I've been helping support a local farm here, an egg chicken farm, as well as a school program at Delsey High School. And they really use the zoning to know what to grow. So search your area. Make sure you take the time to find out what grows best, what crops are companion crops with the herbs, what ones should go in a grow box and what ones should be root. Remember, root vegetables are things like beets and carrots, as well as potatoes and sweet potatoes. So you always want to try to have, even in a grow box, one deep enough if you're not putting it in the ground or don't have the space. You'll want to get even a 50-gallon pot where you could put your root vegetables in and have it deep enough that it gets the nutrition and the sun and the help for the soil. It's all about the soil, guys. If you don't build your soil, and the soil should be built by 3 parts. It should be built with composting, so any of your garden scraps, your yard scraps, you'll want to mix it in with your soil. You'll also want to use manure, and then you'll also want to use an organic topsoil and build your soil, especially in Zone 10 where we are in Florida. Our soil takes a lot of beating from winds and high rains as well as heat. And so it's important that each year we rebuild our soil and freshen it up. One of the things I do want to share with you, Mo, about a successful garden is the adding of worms. Now, you guys all know that your little boys bring home crickets, frogs, and worms in their pocket. So what a wonderful way to get them involved in your garden, families and parents. Start a worm composting. The boys love it, the girls love it, and it's something that's really amazing. And when you grow your own, start with a pound of worms and feed them. You'll have, within 60 days, 5 pounds of worms, and you'll be able to start a new one. But here's why it's so important. When the worms eat and they consume the scraps you put in there, you'll also, at the bottom of that bin, have what's called worm tea. And worm tea is the best fertilizer. You pour it in with a gallon bucket, mix it with 5 gallons of water, and you will actually be able to fertilize your crop on a natural way that God intended. No pesticides, no chemicals, no sprays. You're just using the droppings of worms, their casings, and everything to put it right back into the earth. So if you want to talk about how to have a successful garden, research these natural ways. Permaculture means you're using the existing area and you're adding to it. You're not disrupting, you're not tilling, you're taking this natural resource and you're making a row and growing food in that resource. So permaculture works for lots of great fruits in Florida. We have the blessing of being able to grow avocado as well as grapefruit, lemon, lime, oranges, wonderful fruits, and really have fun with it. So remember, use the natural spaces for the fruit that works in your area. In New Jersey, their natural fruit is blueberry, so they use their natural soil for blueberry crop, and they don't have to disrupt it and rebuild it. It's naturally balanced. So just do yourself a favor, search your area, sit down and talk about what your family uses the most, what kind of food you want to grow, and make a plan and get everybody involved. And you will find not only is it fun, but it will give the kids a new perspective, and they will have more gratitude. They'll eat with purpose, and they're going to improve their health and not become a statistic of an obese young person with diabetes. You know, it's up to us as parents to take the reins and make those changes, and we're here to support you do that.
And you mentioned that people can go to your website. Can you tell us about your site and what a person might expect if they were to visit that site?
Absolutely. My website is healthymempoweredlivingsolutions.com. And on my website, you'll see lots of great articles. Every time I find a new research about a GMO crop or a new video which supports urban farming and the way that food was intended to be grown, bloggers come in and they blog their experiences. And the website is very friendly. It gives you great tips, great ideas. There's great growing tips for grow boxes. Also, there's information about Ayurvedic medicine. I think I even have, as a matter of fact, I know there's even a link for the dosha quiz to find out your body type. So there's all kinds of great information on my website. I also have a Facebook page called Healthy Empowered Living Solutions, and that also supports the website. So lots of great tips there, guys. And if you need any help or have any questions, you know, feel free to message me or call me at any time. It's my job and purpose to support mankind in getting back to the basics when it comes to real, clean, supportive, high nutritionally dense foods that'll give us a lifetime of good health and happiness.
All right. So that is Debra Nix at healthymempoweredlivingsolutions.com, correct?
You got it.
All
and
right.
you can even email me at Debra Nixon at healthymempoweredlivingsolutions.com. And let me give you a little tip on how to remember it. Healthy Empowered Living Solutions is HELS, and everything that you'll learn heals you. No pun intended. HELS, heals. So Healthy Empowered Living Solution heals you.
Yay!
So everything that we do is there for you. Woohoo!
Yes, I love that. Very good, guys. So that is all you need to know. I will have links and a beautiful picture of Miss Debra when we get the show posted up today. So that way you will be able to see what she looks like. You'll be able to find her and be able to connect with her to ask her any questions. I want to thank you, Debra, for coming and sharing some of your incredible wealth of knowledge. Anybody that might know you on a daily basis might not know all this is there. You're always sharing and teaching and helping and healing and uplifting. But today you really dove into some very good points and touchstones. And I really appreciate you taking the time today to come join us on Evolve.
Absolutely, Monette. Evolve is such a fitting show for the things that we need to do as human beings. We need to evolve and change the things that are harming us. And not only does this show support that, but when it comes to clean food, also mind, body, and spirit, transforming your mind. Guys, if you have any traumatic experiences and you've been tucking them away, please know that they're not just hidden. They're going to your organs, and they will present themselves in the future in your health. So now's the time to not only have new beginnings for food and learning about the physical, but also the spirit and the mind. Know that you're worthy, know that you're loved, and that you're worth being happy. Your life matters. Everyone's life matters. And so take it into your hands and make these changes today. Not only is Evolve helping you, but I'm here to help you. So just know nothing is beyond healing. And with that said, again, my name is Debra Nixon, and I love you all, and I thank you for allowing me to be on the show today. Namaste.
Namaste, Debra. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
You too, Monette. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Guys, that was so refreshing. What a beautiful way to bounce into spring. I love all of the herb talk and knowledge. I found it to be incredibly helpful in so many areas of my own life. And with that in mind, I've picked out two of my favorite kind of planty, herby things to talk about with you today that are in the vein of what Debra spoke about in regards to Ayurveda. Gotu kola. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. Every once in a while, Dr. Oz will have some like crazy thing like this